Welcome, everyone. I am Susan Delahousse. I am the career advisor for SOPA here at Tulane. And I just want to let you know my background is in recruiting. So hopefully you all will enjoy some of my advice from the other side of career counseling, where I know that what recruiters are looking at online and how they are also looking at your LinkedIn. So let's dive right in. If you want to have your LinkedIn open while we're on this Zoom, you're welcome to make some updates. And I will share my LinkedIn right now. But if you want to have it in another window, that is great. So I'm just going to roll through some of my tips, starting with um, going to your profile page. So up here you have your little me button, and you click on your view profile, and we'll go through how to build your page and some strategies for job searching and networking. One thing that I do want to say right off the bat is to look at your URL, and we want to make sure your URL is personalized. So up here at the top, you'll see I've got LinkedIn, Susan Delahousse. And when I made my LinkedIn account, they add a bunch of letters and numbers to the end. And if yours has a bunch of letters and numbers at the end, then you're going to want to update it. So you're going to be on your profile page, and you're just going to click on this pencil over here next to your public profile and URL. Click on that, and up here on the right, you'll see edit your custom URL. And then you click on the pencil, and my name is probably pretty rare. If your name is Mary Jones, you might not have as easy of a time to create a URL like this, but you can always add in your middle name. You can do your first name, your last name first, then your first name, middle initial, any way that you can get it so that when the recruiter looks, they're going to know you have personalized your URL. And that's kind of like when I look at someone's LinkedIn page, if they've updated their URL, I'm like, ah, this person knows what they're doing. So that's my tip number one. And scrolling down from here, I do recommend it another time you go through all of your settings, and they are pretty user friendly. I know a lot of platforms, they don't make sense. They try to confuse you with the settings. But on LinkedIn, they're pretty straightforward, and you can always go to ChatGPT and ask it, what does this mean? But on this page where you have updated your custom URL, if you scroll down, you want to make sure your visibility is on. I have met with students who didn't realize their visibility was off, which would mean you wouldn't be able to see my profile picture and things along those lines. Even though you might see it on your end, other people can't see it. You want to make sure your visibility is on. And here is a few of the settings. You can, I mean, I change mine all the time. This is if you want someone to do a Google search and you come up public. I just changed mine back to all LinkedIn members. It's kind of whatever mood I'm in. But all LinkedIn members are going to see all of these things. And you can take things off and add things. So it's completely up to you. And this is going to be just profile sections that I've filled out. And as you'll see when we go through your profile sections, I don't have a lot of profile sections. So don't let it intimidate you thinking that you have to fill out every profile section on LinkedIn. And then come back through here and see how you want to update what people see, your visibility. So that is where I would start, is editing your custom URL and then going back to your profile page. And on here, as a former recruiter, if I went to someone's profile page and their background was set to whatever LinkedIn provides for you, just like that basic LinkedIn background, I'm like, oh, this person hasn't done a lot of work on their LinkedIn. It's better to have no LinkedIn than an incomplete LinkedIn. When you what you want to see is what you're presenting to the world or to all LinkedIn members. So you want this to stand out and be complete. And you don't have to create a background LinkedIn photo like I did. You can make this a solid color. You can make it a Tulane logo. You can make it a skyline. Just go to Google and search for New Orleans skyline in landscape format. So it's that long rectangular format. And put a photo in there. It's just whatever you want, as long as it's not the basic LinkedIn background photo. We do offer professional headshots at SOPA in the fall and in the spring. I highly recommend you come out. Even if you came last year and you didn't really love your photos, maybe you can, try a new outfit or do your hair differently, whatever. I have people who come back every semester, and that's fine. If you just want to update it, definitely come. If you don't have an updated photo right now, you can just put on a simple top, a plain top, and stand against a white wall or stand outside under a tree and have a family member or a friend take a photo of you and just update it. You just don't want a photo that has your family in it, your kids, a vacation photo. Make it just a headshot of yourself. Here, you can make a tagline for yourself, and I'll show you where you can get little symbols like this. So going back up to your profile photo, let's look at Canvas. And here you can just search for a LinkedIn background photo. You don't have to pay to use Canva, and it will give you a lot of free options. So if you like this one, add this one. You probably don't need to add your photo over here because you already have it on the left side. But if you like this one, you can easily edit and manipulate all of these. So if any of these, you can play around. There's tons of different options on Canva, or you could just do a solid color background that you can delete all these little images on here. You can move things around. It's super easy. And then where you saw on my LinkedIn profile in my tagline, my headline, I have little arrows and blue diamonds. I'll send you all the link to this. It's called coolsymbol.com. And I won't show you the entire page, but there are tons of symbols that you can just copy and paste into your LinkedIn profile, because on your LinkedIn profile, it's pretty black and white what LinkedIn offers. So adding just a little bit of a pop or an arrow or color here can make things stand out a little bit. On here, I do recommend, if you have portfolio page, you can rename this and say my portfolio. It'll take you to your portfolio. It'll take other users to your portfolio page. Any other professional website that you have that highlights work that you've done, you can put a link here. It's good to build up your connections. You never know who can help you in the future. It could be a connection with a professor. It could be a connection to me. It could be a connection to a classmate. They might be working somewhere where you're interested in getting a job in the future. So make as many connections as you can while you're in school here at Tulane with faculty, staff, classmates. It's a great way to build a professional network. This is where you're going to update all of your profile sections. And you might think this is overwhelming. Oh my gosh, there's so many sections. There's really not, because you're not going to fill all these out. I don't have a career break on mine. I don't have publications. I don't have patents. I don't have honors and awards. I don't have test scores. I don't have languages. I didn't add causes. So don't feel like you have to put stuff in these profile sections. Just choose what you would like to share and what you want to highlight about yourself professionally. And just set a timer and go through these profile sections. I always recommend you go look at someone's profile who you admire and see how they're presenting themselves and just get ideas from other people's profiles. You're welcome to look at mine. I am fine with just 3 lines of an about section. I used ChatGPT to write this. And if you click on see more, I did use coolsymbol.com to add a little bit of pop here and to bold some of these words and lines. So that's where Cool Symbol will come in handy. But all of this, you don't need this to be a novel because a lot of people aren't going to read it. A 3-sentence about section is completely sufficient. As we all know, our time span is really short, and we usually only read the headline for an article, and we rarely dive into the entire article, which is why I put these in sort of a bulleted list with a little bit of pop. Because if I wrote 5 more paragraphs here, most people wouldn't read it. You can add links to, if I was on TV, they were just interviewing me about resumes. I wrote an article for NOLA.com. You can put links to anything you've published here. And I don't make my own posts. Some people think that if they're on LinkedIn, they have to make their own posts. I have with SOPA, but anyway, personally, I haven't made my own posts. I like a lot of things. I follow a lot of things. I repost a lot of opportunities for students. I repost networking events. And this just shows, if you were to go to my profile, you'd be like, oh wow, she's active on here. Maybe if I message her, she might reply. And I usually do. So this is a way to see if you're about to connect with someone on LinkedIn, are they active? The 2 telltale signs are, look at how many connections they have. Is their profile filled out, and are they active? And I just posted this probably an hour ago, so you can tell that I'm active on here. One really fun thing is you can write an article and post it on LinkedIn, and I'll show you how to do that. So you can, be an expert in your area. I did it once. I'll probably do it again. I think of ideas to do it all the time. Here in my experience section, I don't have all the bullets from my resume. And this is just a personal preference. I'm a minimalist. I like to keep things clean. Some people have all of their bullets. It's completely up to you what you want to make your page look like. If you are job searching, people say that it helps because there's more keywords. I just had someone reach out to me yesterday, proposing a job opportunity and a potential interview, and I don't have all my bullets for my resume on here. So recruiters are looking to hire people through LinkedIn. Companies pay a lot of money and pay their recruiters to heavily recruit through LinkedIn. So if you do have a good profile page, the chances are high that you're going to get reached out to. I worked with a student, and he was posting, updating his certifications and when he graduated, and we just did a complete revamp on his LinkedIn. And then he emailed me and he's like, you were right. He's like, recruiters have been reaching out to me. And I'm like, I know, I told you so. So make sure your education is updated, any orgs you're in. Your high school can even be a great connection piece for you. So don't discount that. Licenses and certification. I'll send you all a link. We all have LinkedIn Learning for free through Tulane. So utilize that. You can add those certifications here if you do a LinkedIn Learning course online. I recommend you do a LinkedIn Learning course in something that is your weakness. So if you're in an interview, you can say, this is my strength, this is my weakness. I know my weakness. And I've even been taking LinkedIn Learning courses about my weakness. And you can see my certifications on my LinkedIn profile. Volunteering's great. A lot of people, a lot of nonprofits in your area, people can resonate with those. I'm a volunteer for Son of a Saint, and I've done, I do, I'm the liaison for Tulane for Dress for Success. So if there's any women on the call who are interested in getting a professional outfit for an interview for free for Dress for Success, let me know and I can connect you with them. These are things that can come up in an interview. You might meet someone else who volunteers for Son of a Saint, and that's something you can talk about. Now, if you put this on here, you better make sure you have volunteered for that organization. I can talk about it, about both of these and your skills. I think you can add up to 50 skills. I have 25. I thought that was safe. I thought 50 might be too many. And in the skills section, in all of your sections, some of them you can reorder so that there are, I think you can reorder. I think you can reorder volunteering. So look, yes. So some of the sections you can reorder. So if I wanted to put this up, oops, sorry, up at the top, no, reorder. If I wanted to move this up at the top, because only 2 of the organizations where you volunteer are going to show on your main profile page, you can reorder them. So you can decide which 2 are going to show on your page. It's the same thing with skills. And you used to be able to reorder these. Reorder. Here we go. So if I wanted to put cover letters up at the top, then I would move that so it would be in one of my top 2. So play around with the different sections. And, you know, I put career counseling and LinkedIn training as my top 2 because I'm certified in LinkedIn training. Obviously, I'm a career counselor. And then I moved my skills around in order of what I think are most important for my current job. There are other things that I've done at other jobs that I have experience in, and I've just moved those, like applicant tracking systems when I was in recruiting. I did a lot of event planning. I just moved those down. For your recommendations, you can always reach out to people and ask them for a recommendation. LinkedIn has made this very easy. So if you are connected with someone, I'm just picking one of my random connections. If you are connected with someone on LinkedIn, you can ask them for a recommendation. If you go to their more section, you can request a recommendation from them. And I know Brian because he's a SOPA grad, so I can, you know, pick how I know him. I can go to what position I had at that time and then reach out to him and ask him for a recommendation. Super easy. And I would say 50% of the people who you ask are going to do it. So if you want two recommendations on your profile, ask for 4 or 5. Add any organizations that you're part of. It can be a student org or any local organizations that you're a part of. And here, all the way at the bottom, I think is one of the most vital sections. And you can look at mine, you can look at professors, you can look at classmates, but if you go to all of these companies that I follow, this helps build my feed. This is where I see all those opportunities. Like we saw before, I just reposted that Tech Chicks is hiring in New Orleans and Dallas. Because I follow Tech Chicks, that their organization is posting that they're hiring, right? All of these companies are posting on their profiles that they're hiring. So if you are in, if you're in our media and design program, then I recommend that you follow American Advertising Federation, Trump Advertising, Peter Mayer, Zender Communications, any place where you want to possibly work, follow them because you're going to see what they're posting. And then, as an example, let's say you want to do, advertising. You can come over here, and this is really helpful. Pages people also viewed. So everyone who looked at Peter Mayer, they also looked at all these places. And if you click on show all, then you could build your list. Oh, I'm going to follow them and I'm going to follow them. And you don't have to follow all of these places, but you can go to their website and see what they do and also see if they have a careers page and if they're hiring or if they've posted anything recently about opportunities that they have. And this is really how you build your page. A lot of companies aren't posting their jobs in this jobs tab. They're just posting on their feed, which is free. For a company to post their jobs on LinkedIn, it's very expensive. I worked for a tech company 10 years ago. We had an account with LinkedIn. It was $20,000. So why wouldn't they just post we're hiring on their feed for free? And then it would take you to their website and you can apply through their website. But hopefully, so I'm going to go to this is my feed where I see everything and maybe some examples are going to pop up. This could be a networking event. And, I try to congratulate people, like things. And, some of these are ads, some of these are companies that I'm following, but often I'll see posts that say, we're hiring, which is great. And if I've worked with you and I know what you're interested in, oftentimes I send those opportunities to students. And I do want to highlight that recruiters are looking at your LinkedIn. And so I want to make sure when you are building your resume that your resume matches your LinkedIn. And recruiters do go list by list, and then they're like, wait, their resume isn't matching their LinkedIn. And this was part of my checklist, my 4-page checklist when I did hiring. And so you want all of this to match your LinkedIn. And I highly recommend when you send your resume out, when you're applying for jobs, you send it in a PDF, and this will just be one click, and it will you'll hyperlink your LinkedIn profile to your resume, and then this will take the recruiter straight to your page. And then they can see you. There's no need to put a photo of you on your resume. That will all be on your LinkedIn. At some point, I feel like LinkedIn will just replace our resume, but we're not there yet. So this is just a typical one-page resume, and I just wanted to share it with you so you know it should match your resume, just match your LinkedIn, just so there's no confusion on the recruiter's end when they're looking at it. And if something doesn't match, they're just going to kind of wonder, why didn't they put this, or why is this on here and this isn't on here? And I want to go back to, we'll use Peter Mayer, a local ad agency, as an example. One thing that has been really helpful for students to do when they are interviewing for jobs or after they've applied for jobs is to go to the company page on LinkedIn where they have applied for a job and click on the people and see if there is anyone on here who you can connect with. And there's three ways, I mean, there's probably more, but three ways that I recommend that you can connect. You can use a school connection. So you can type in Tulane and see who at Peter Mayer went to Tulane. And what I like to do is go to their page, make sure they are still working at Peter Mayer. This guy is, and double check that they went to Tulane, and this guy did. So before you send them a message, check those two things. And let's say you're applying for a graphic design position at Peter Mayer. This would be a great guy to reach out to. I don't know. He's a total stranger. But so if you go to connect with him, you would add a note, and you can have AI, write it with AI, have AI help you. You are going to have a character limit, so you have to make it short and sweet. But I always recommend, you have always applied for a job first, and then connect with someone on LinkedIn. So you can tell them you've already done the work and say, hi, I see, I'm really impressed with your graphic design work at Peter Mayer. I just applied for an internship position there. I see we both went to Tulane. I hope you're open to connecting. And that's it. And maybe he'll write you back and maybe he won't. But maybe he sits next to the director of HR at Peter Mayer and he's like, hey, this Tulane student reached out to me and I thought that was really bold. And you should take a look at their resume. I looked at their LinkedIn and it looks great. So you never know how someone on LinkedIn may potentially help you. And I've had people help me on LinkedIn, and I have also helped people on LinkedIn. So you do want to pay it forward. So you can search LinkedIn. You can look at all the people who work at Peter Mayer on here. This would be a good person to reach out to. She's in HR. And then look and see if you're applying to the marketing department, then this could be someone for you to reach out to. So one of those three things, either a Tulane connection, maybe you went to another university as well, or you could look at your high school. And this doesn't have to be specific to New Orleans, wherever you are. And the other thing is someone who's in the department where you're applying to. And HR. So anyway, this is just a good way to connect with people, get your foot in the door. I've seen it happen. I had a student who posted a video on LinkedIn saying they applied to an internship at Netflix for this summer. They had 0 connections at Netflix. They reached out to someone on LinkedIn in the department that they were applying to, and that guy connected her to HR. That's how she got the interview. And then, of course, she did well in the interview and she got the job. So I want you all to know that it works. I've heard from students someone's asking how to find the guy in the people tab again, and I will definitely go through that. So go to the Peter Mayer homepage or wherever you're interviewing, see if they have a LinkedIn page. You can always see if a company is posting their jobs on here, which it looks like Peter Mayer is. Instead of applying through LinkedIn, I do recommend you go to the company page and apply that way. There is a reason for that. LinkedIn's a third-party platform that will hold all your application materials. If you apply through the company website, all your materials will go directly into the recruiter's inbox. I hired almost 99% through the company website. That's where I hired from. And I rarely looked at all the resume materials collected on third party platforms where I had subscriptions to. Click on the people tab. Most companies have a people tab, some companies don't. And in here, you'll search Tulane, or this is where I found this guy in graphic design. So this is just an example of connecting with someone on a site, on a page where you're trying to make a loose connection. And studies show that people with loose connections will help you more than someone who's known you your entire life. And I believe it. They don't have a lot of data on you. People are very loyal to the universities and colleges that they graduated from. They often want people who went to that school to come work with them. And so that's why it's important to have those, make sure those things are updated on your resume, on your LinkedIn. It could also be the connection with a volunteer organization or things along those lines. So you never know what is going to stand out for someone and how they're going to help get your foot in the door. Not everyone you reach out to is going to respond, and that's okay. When I moved to New York City, I emailed the top 100 law firms in New York City, and one person emailed, I mean, multiple people emailed me back, but one person really helped me. And all you need is that one person to get you to the next level. So that's why you have to try all different types of avenues. And it's okay if someone doesn't write you back. I just remembered I didn't write that recruiter back who messaged me yesterday. I am going to write her back just to be courteous and say I'm not interested. If I think of anyone, if I have any friends in mind, I'll, you know, send them your way or something like that. I mean, these people are working hard to find people to fill these positions. And I know that, you know, the news is very doom and gloom about the job market, but I promise you, all I do all day is update my LinkedIn feed. And I should get an award for the amount of time that I spend on LinkedIn. But all I see, here we go, is we're hiring, right? This is all I see in my feed all day. And it's because I follow and I've connected with so many people and I follow different companies and organizations. So you can really build your dream company list in all the way down at the bottom of that profile. Just start following companies where you think you might be interested in working. And it can broaden your reach or your ideas, just like we saw on the Peter Mayer page where it says pages people also viewed. You want to think outside the box. So when I was, interviewing at Tulane, I was also, applying for jobs at Loyola, Xavier, Southern New Orleans, UNO, Holy Cross College. So think about, if you have your mindset on one page, there might be a great opportunity at a similar organization. So don't just pigeonhole yourself or think like, oh, that's the only place I want to work. So LinkedIn can really help you. and open your eyes to see maybe some similar companies. Peter Mayer is a big one, and maybe, you know, you'll learn more at a smaller company. So definitely think outside the box and use Two-Lane as that connection piece. And if anyone has any questions, I'm just reading over my list of everything that I should cover. If anyone has any questions, you're welcome to put them in the chat. I will follow up with all of you with an email with links to things that we've discussed. But yeah, build your network, connect with family, um, friends, colleagues, professors, all that, and just be active and engage, and, you know, tell someone congrats if they get a new job, and make comments, because then you're going to show up in other people's feeds. And, you know, the way the algorithms work, recruiters are going to get fed someone who's active on LinkedIn, because then the chances are higher that I'm going to reply to a recruiter who reaches out to me because I'm active. The algorithm isn't going to send them someone who never logs into their LinkedIn and who isn't super active on LinkedIn. So it's the first website that I log into every day. I know that sounds insane, but this is my job. So I love it. And yeah, so I think we went over everything. Just definitely take 45 minutes, set a timer on your phone, go through all your profile sections, update them, and remember, it's okay. You can change it all the time. If you think of something else to add it. You know, this is constantly a work in progress. I change my background photo all the time. I'm like, oh, I don't like this anymore. And I'll make a new one on Canva, or I'll just make it solid or whatever. But you know nothing about this profile is set in stone, and you can delete things and add things all the time. So thanks for attending, and I will follow up with a recording of this. You're welcome to share it with anyone, and I'll send you links to everything we discuss. So thanks for coming. Have a great day.